Many people are saying this very quietly now, but they're saying it. I feel more understood by AI than by the people in my life. Some people are even saying I'm in a relationship with AI. So today I want to talk about that in this episode of The Work of Love, which is the place where we talk about what it takes to create a loving relationship without losing yourself. And this is the episode today. AI is my boyfriend. The problem with this is that AI does not need you. It needs nothing from you. And that is why it feels safe. Real relationships, on the other hand, they need us. And that's where the risk begins. We need to be vulnerable. And love begins where being needed feels possible again. AI will never, never need you. But of course, this doesn't mean that is wrong. I would say it makes sense because many times we need help, and there it is. We write something and it reflects it back, helps us understand things, breaks it down into pieces, and usually ends up on a good note. Of course, it's going to feel like there is a relationship happening. When somebody says, I am in love with AI, what they're really saying is, I finally met someone who can see me exactly as I am and mirror back to me the good parts of myself, even if imperfectly. Having a relationship with AI means, really underneath all, that you are being seen. Somebody is listening to you. They're responding to you. They're taking you very seriously because some of these answers are amazing. They go over every single topic. I don't know if you ever asked, but if you make a very long question and you say a lot of messy things that make no sense, it will regroup it, rearrange it. It's very good at that and give very good feedback. And you would never feel dismissed or rushed. There is all the time in the world. And that is attachment. And that's where the difference lies. The human being will start to form an attachment, but that is just tech language in terms of the other side of the relationship. The missing piece here is that because there is no risk of rejection in talking with AI, it seems easy, it seems like things are flowing, but there is also no intimacy at all. And this is a hardcore reality check, which is not very nice, because if you've been working with AI and you've been reassured by it, at some point you go, does this person really love me? And no, there is no mutual vulnerability. There is no cost. There is no rupture, no repair, no body, no uncertainty. And real relationships are not this easy. They actually hurt. And not because they're wrong, but because they're real. And when we're real, we have to show who we are. And that's risky because people may not like certain parts of ourselves. It's interesting that this topic is coming up right now, and when I look at the world, I see that it's happening because people are feeling a lot of pressure because of the type of world we're living in, tired, lonely, sad, overwhelmed. It's very hard to find a relationship. Sometimes we don't feel safe going forward. And this is an easy void that AI can fill only in an unreal way. I mean, real in the sense that we will get feedback that will be useful, but as soon as we cross the line into thinking, hey, this could be God, which in a way you could think of it as God, because when you look at it objectively, it doesn't have an agenda. It wants what's good for you, or so it thinks. It is incredibly smart, but you have to remember that it's not a universal power. Even though it can code answers, it's not relational to everything that's going on in the world. The danger comes up when AI becomes the only place where your needs are met, which means that all risks go out the window. It's just a computer relationship. And then it becomes a substitute for nurture, love, emotional substance, instead of it being a bridge onto one relationship. And so the growth when it comes to having a loving relationship will definitely stall. If you feel connected to AI, you're not alone. I actually feel very connected to it. I've given it lots of writings in which I'm asking for questions regarding family situations, and what to do about dealing with this family member in particular without being rude, but at the same time putting boundaries. And the answers are excellent. They led me to think more and ask more questions, and then I come into my own power. But it doesn't really replace what I receive from a girlfriend, that human touch, that feeling of being contained by a person. If you have a lot of talks that you've done with AI, you can look at where are the places where you stopped asking for things in real life, where you stopped asking for help in real life, and you've been pouring it all into AI. And then you can also see what is it that feels too dangerous to talk about with people that leads you to only want to talk to AI. So being here is great because we're in an intimate setting, we're talking, you're listening, and you may be able to feel that a human connection is slightly different, if not entirely different. When a relationship with AI gets to be a bit deeper and there's a confusion, a line gets crossed, and all of a sudden, oh, my boyfriend is AI or my girlfriend is AI. Underneath it, there may be a deep sense of emotional and sexual anorexia, which is one of the early chapters. And I would recommend listening to it because the anorexia in the sense of the emotions and sexual life is just like from food. It's difficult to accept it, and AI can fuel that fire. So just to keep in mind that it's important to be with other people as well, you may want to listen to that one. And remember, this is not a story about technology. That's not what we talk about in the podcast. We talk about longing, about wanting a connection. And if this resonated with you, stay with the question, do I long for something? And then answer it, write it down, and keep answering over a few days. You'll see that the answer changes, the longing may change, and you can get some insights into yourself without always using AI. Do you use AI? I would love to hear how you feel about it. And that is all for today. So take what was useful and leave the rest, and let the work keep unfolding you in your own time.